Chapter 4. Wilma found it strange to be back in her old school. Last year she had moved up to the secondary school. Now she was back helping her mom to run a stall at the school fair. She enjoyed setting up the stall. She put large objects at the back and smaller ones in the front. She had a surprise when she picked up the old box. "It's really heavy," she said. In the end, she put the box next to a brass dish and a china cat. Wilma's mom was on a separate table. She was selling more valuable items. Everyone was pleased to see Mrs. May at the fair. She had retired 2 years ago and had come back to open it. "I want you all to spend lots of money," joked Mrs. May, "and make this the best school fair ever. I now declare the fair open." Then something strange happened. It felt as if an icy wind had blown through the hall. Then there was a loud pop. One of the striped lights had exploded. Then the lights flickered and went dim. "A power cut," someone groaned. Mr. Morlock, the caretaker, hurried into the hall. But then the lights came back on again. "How odd," said Wilma's mom. Chapter 5. Nadim came to the stall with Wilf and Nina. He picked up the old box and opened it. "I like this, Wilma. How much?" he asked. £5, replied Wilma hopefully. "Fine," said Nadim, handing Wilma the money. "But I'd like to buy that box too," said a voice behind them. Nadim spun round. The voice was icy and sinister. It belonged to a tall man in a long coat. He had pale, waxy skin, bright green eyes, and very black hair. The man's eyes were so cold and piercing that Wilma shuddered. "I'm sorry, the box is sold," she said, even though the man scared her. The man stared at Nadim. "I'll give you £30. That's 6 times what you paid for it," he said. Nadim imagined that if a snake could talk, its voice would sound just like this man's. But something made Nadim want to keep the box, whatever the man offered him, so he shook his head. "You stupid boy," the man hissed. "You have no use for the box, but I have. All right, I'll give you £50. Biff and Chip gasped. £50 was a lot of useless old box. "Take the money," argued Chip. Out of the corner of his eye, Nadim saw Mr. Morlock shaking his head. Nadim's heart beat fast. It was hard to breathe. He thought what he could do with £50, but something told him not to sell the box to this man. "Sorry," he said. "It's not for sale." The man opened his mouth to speak, but Mr. Morlock moved close to Nadim. "Is everything all right?" Mr. Morlock asked in a firm voice. The man stared at Nadim with lizard-like eyes. They made the hair rise on the back of Nadim's neck. Yes," said Nadim. "I think so." The man turned sharply and strode away. Mr. Morlock spoke quietly to himself. "So the enemy has come," he said. Chapter 6. Every Saturday afternoon, Biff, Chip, and Kipper took Floppy for a walk. They ran home quickly and put Floppy on his lead. Then they walked back to school to meet their friends. They wanted to talk about the scary man. Who was he? Why did he want that box so badly? And why did Mr. Morlock have to do with it? They met up with Wilf, Wilma, Nadim, and Nina outside the school. As they walked home together, Chip noticed that Nadim was holding the box tightly under his arm. They all talked about the sinister man who had come to the stall. The thought of him made them shudder. "That weird man who wanted to buy that box," Wilma began. Chip cut in. "But you turned down £50, Nadim," he said. "I would have taken the money just to get rid of him." Nadim shrugged. There was something about him. I couldn't let him have it. Suddenly, Floppy stopped and growled. Has it turned chilly? Asked Kipper. Then, as they turned into the park, there was the strange man. He was standing in front of them, blocking their way. I want that box, he hissed. It is not yours, it's mine. Give it to me. Chip's heart gave a leap. It was you who broke into our house, he shouted. You were looking for the box. But the man just stared at Nadine. Nadine felt he couldn't turn away from the cold gaze of the man's green eyes. He held the box out, and the man's gloved hand reached out to take it. No, shouted Biff. She snatched the box away as just the gloved fingers closed onto it. The man lunged at her, but she threw the box back to Nadine. Run, shouted Biff. They ran in a group, Nadine in the middle with the box under his arm. As if from nowhere, the man was in front of them. That's impossible, gasped Wolf. The man stretched out his arms as if he was pulling them towards him. Behind them came the sound of running footsteps. It was Mr. Mortlock. He stood in front of the man and pointed something at him. There was a bright flash and a loud crackling sound. The man dissolved into a green flame that curled and twisted into a serpent-like shape. Then, like a firework, the shape turned into sparks and tiny shards of flame. They shot into the air with a hiss and a whoosh. The time has come sooner than I wanted, shouted Mr. Mortlock. The enemy is here, but we still have the box. Run, all of you! Run through the door! It was as if a shimmering heat gauge had risen in front of the trees. In the center of it was a blue door. It's a door in the landscape, gasped Chip. It's like the one in the Magic Key Adventures. The door swung open. There was only one thing to do. They ran through.